Yes, Wagwan people. You know, I had to switch up the thing because Alison's not here today. So his thing is, yes, people, my mind thing is Wagwan. You understand, yeah? Obviously, you're tuned in, you're watching, listening to the Just Unplugg podcast. This episode, we're making it all females, beautiful black melanated women in the room.
All Queens cast.
Celebrating ourselves, celebrating, you know, black culture, black women culture, female culture. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So listen, learn, unplug, unwind, laugh, you know, have your own opinions, do what you need to do, sit down, take a breather, sip a Magnum. Yeah, so I'm obviously Naomi, aka Versatile, one of the co-hosts.
I'm Alice, also known as Cornerstone K.
I'm Dio Ash, musician.
Yes, so we have our lovely, lovely, lovely guestie all with us today. And we're going to get into the question based off of, you know, misconceptions of black women. So the question that we're going to start off with is, what's something people seem to misunderstand about you as a black woman?
Which one would it be?
She said, which one, right? Because there's so many.
Like, you try to be assertive as a black woman with what you want to get out of whatever, you know, you're doing, and people just take it as, like, you're being aggressive.
Yeah.
Making things difficult when you're just asserting, like, your needs or wants or in the industry, in life sometimes. I feel like it's that stigma sometimes. That could be misunderstood.
Yeah, I think my personal experience, you know, a black woman, you know, is meant to...
Well, first you got to tell people what industry you're in.
Okay, sorry. Let me just, sorry.
And then you want to tell what industry you're in.
Well, I'm in the radio / music / hospitality / podcast / hosting / DJ.
She does it all, people.
Multifaceted. I think in the industry that I work in, I'll say in the hospitality side, because it's very like, can I say that? Caucasian dominated? Caucasian dominated. Yeah. Just as a black person in general, to get up into like the hierarchy ranks, like a manager or an area manager or one of the big boy roles, it's like you have to work times 10, times 100 to even be recognized for that position. Yeah. Right. Whereas your white counterpart, you know,
they could be mediocre.
You know what I mean? they could be mediocre. They could be doing the exact same thing like you're doing. Yeah, and doing it just a little bit, you know, less than you do, and they will still get it based off the fact that at the top, you know, they want to see, you know, the white man, and then the black people working under the white man, and I think that's something that I feel is like a generational thing from like slavery, you know, when you had people them in the White House, you know, in the plantation people house, and the lighter skinned blacks get to go in the house, and the dark skinned ones have to stay out and, you know, pick cotton on the field. That's what it's like, but in 21st century. That's what I feel. Yeah,
I mean, the civil rights movement only started like about 50 years ago.
Exactly.
So
my dad's older than that.
So we're still dealing with all the issues of segregation, and then being a black woman on top of already just being black in general is another struggle that we face with. But what industry are you in, Dior?
So I'm a musician, so singer.
Okay.
I've also worked in mental health.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Okay. How long have you been a singer?
I'll say, all my life I've been singing.
Okay.
It's been my passion. But I only really took it seriously in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, let me just see where this goes. You know, I'm just expressing really like my form of therapy to myself, and whoever can relate, can be uplifted, can see that you can push through, you know, the trials and tribulations of life, then catch a vibe too.
Exactly. And I know that you do like alternative R&B instead of like normal R&B. Do you think that there is a stigma around black people straying from, you know, the normal black music streams of like hip hop or like rap or R&B and when they're a little bit different, they're seen as like, oh, like, you're black, you're not meant to be singing like that, you're not meant to be having those kind of songs. Like, have you experienced something like that? Or
I haven't actually experienced that, but to say to that, I just feel like everyone should do their thing. Like, people always have their opinions and try and like categorize and stuff, but I just feel like as long as you're enjoying yourself and creating, then just keep doing it, and you'll build your like fan base and people that, you know, it's not just you alone. There's a mass that enjoy the same music that you create. So it's all good.
So have you been like having any difficulties like trying to get your music out there or having people support you and things of that nature?
I mean, a few, but I feel like I'm pushing it, you know, like I feel like nothing happens like that. Yeah. And I'm not really for like, you know,
the popcorn success.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm very spiritual in it, so I'm like, the universe has got me regardless. It'll take me where I need to go. I'm just releasing, and it's a passion of mine, so I'm like, and I do have good like feedback and fans and people that support me, and I'm very grateful for them.
Yeah.
One thing I also think, just bring it back to the topic, I think it's one thing to see a black person get to the top, but then I think it's another thing to see a black woman elevate and not in the way that people stereotypically see, you know, a black woman, you know, do it like going about her life. Like, and I think it's great when we see, you know, powerful black women leading like nations, leading organizations, leading music, like, you know, like doing better than a man, regardless if you're black or white or whatever, doing better than a man. Yeah. It's just nice to see a black woman in, you know, a hierarchy and actually doing something and not, you know, just be like being true to herself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because like growing up, I can't like name you like in that time like 5 female women that were in power, that were recognized, that were noticed, that were doing something. You know, it was always, you know, the pioneers back in our ancestry that you think about, but in present day, it's a bit. Like you'd be ticking your brain a little bit. Yeah,
the women, they're rising up though. In the US, they just, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. You know, charge it to my heart, not my head. But they just appointed a black female African American woman to the Supreme Court justice. And she's the first one. Yeah. You know, she got dreads. She's been, you know, she's out here.
Come on, island girl.
So it's good to see like we have that representation because, you know, growing up, not me specifically, but I've witnessed like acquaintances be like called like, go back to Africa, or you're a burnt African cookie or stuff like that. But now it's just like, melanin this, melanin that.
Yeah. The black and the berry, the sweet and the juice, like in hairspray.
The same people who was degrading us are the ones who are now appropriating our culture and things of that nature. Yeah. So it's just interesting to see how things are changing. And
it's a full circle, isn't it? Yeah. And in your respective industries, do you feel like, comparing it again from like back then to now, do you feel like it's the same kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Got A-star in English, can't even think of the word that I'm looking for.
Loves talking about this A-star in English every episode. I got an A-star in English. I got an A-star in English. Okay.
So for example, like, you know, back in the day, like they want to portray black women as, you know, kind of thought, you know, big, accentuate that they got big asses, twerking them in the camera and stuff like that. That's the only way that you would get noticed as an artist or as a music video model or something like that. Do you think that the same standards apply now?
I feel like, I mean, it shouldn't, but I feel like it is like that. But I feel like, just need to do you. Sometimes you don't need to do all that. You just got to do what you feel comfortable with, actually. That's it. You don't have to go step out your comfort zone because you see girls doing that. And but yeah, there is, black women are definitely hypersexualized. Yeah.
I think that's another stigma / stereotype that people have, you know, kind of put on us rather than us putting it out there, because based off the fact that, you know, more time black women have bigger features, or they have bigger breasts, they have naturally bigger bums or thicker bodies and whatever. But
not all, because where's my bum? The Lord did not bless me with a bum. Everybody in my family got a big butt but me. And he said, swoop, I'm gonna skip you. And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
everybody.
Personally, I don't feel like I've got, you know, the stereotypical black lips like that are full and plump. I feel like mine are close in between black and white. I feel like there's mixed race right now. I've got mixed race lips. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like, you know, sometimes people like try to put these like labels, stigmas on us, so that we in ourselves start questioning ourselves, even if we know that okay, I'm not that, but doesn't make me any less of a black woman or black in general. Like for example, I don't really wear weaves and stuff like that. But when I did have hair, I would wear braids. That's the most I would go. But it's like, to other people, they're like, oh yeah, but like you're black, you should relax your hair, you should wear a weave, and it's like, no man, it's like why do I need to hide my crown to make you feel more comfortable?
Exactly.
Especially in the workplace, it's like, oh yeah, with the you can't have an afro and dreads because it's unprofessional.
They've just
and stuff.
But Boris Johnson, that is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, can go and be on national TV with hair like that, but me that will have a nice curly afro, moisturized, the curls are curling on the face, the baby hairs are slicked to the guards, cannot go and represent a country.
You can.
Yes,
I can, but they don't want me to.
You can. What God has for you is for you. Listen. And then the other thing is like they make you feel like society and parents, especially foreign parents, they make you feel like if you're not doing engineer, doctor, nurse,
lawyer,
that's the only thing. And then when you branch out and you be like, oh, I want to be a film producer, or I want to go into acting or be a model or stuff like that.
What's the first question to ask you? Is that going to make you money? Is it? And it's like, and it's like,
with God,
is this my brain and my body, or is it yours?
I want to be impactful, especially like with our youth, like the millennials and the Gen Zs now. Like we're seeing so much rates of suicide, like literally within this past week and a half, like 2 people under the age of 25 have committed suicide. Lil Keed and this girl,
and the girl that was a cheerleader,
toddlers and tiaras. Like
I didn't know that he committed suicide.
Well, I don't know if he committed suicide. I think he did, but so disclaimer, I don't know. It hasn't been reported yet. If it is, once you watch this video later on, then you're gonna be like, oh, she called it. But the other girl, she committed suicide and she was just about to have her prom. And it's just like, you see so many millennials and Gen Zs dealing with depression and anxiety, and then they go to like their parents. Like even me, this happened to me. Like when I first told my mom that I deal with depression, like literally her words were, I don't believe that you're depressed. And I was like, well, it's not what you believe. It's how I feel.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's how I feel. But like again, dealing with a foreign parent, like, and then being, mental health in itself is a big stigma already. And the black community doesn't speak about it, and it's just now more so coming into the forefront because we're seeing like it being at such a higher rate.
And I think it's because like we're made to feel like we need to be strong, like because of our past, we should be strong. Like we should show no weakness because we came from kings and queens and warriors and some of our ancestors went through slavery and it's like okay, well, you're meant to be like a strong black woman, so why are you crumbling? Or you're meant to be a strong black man, why are you crying? Why are you having emotion? And it's like, I hate that. And it's like, am I not a human being?
Exactly.
Am I not one of the world?
Am I not a child of God?
Right?
Like, what do you mean? In the Bible, it says our tears are liquid prayers. So why am I supposed to hold it in?
Exactly.
I'm supposed to let it out. Like
release it.
Yeah, exactly, because that's why you see so much violence in the world, because instead of them releasing it, especially men, instead of men releasing it, they have to go punch walls or punch on women or go shoot somebody or stab somebody because they don't know how to communicate and express their emotions. And it's just like, why? Like I hate the term strong black woman or strong black man. Like if anything, I'm resilient because through it all,
that's the perfect word.
I fought. Like with God, I fought to where I'm at right now, and no man is gonna take the credit for it, because where were y'all when I was crying every night, like suicidal every night? Exactly.
Where were you when I was 9 months pregnant? About to push out a baby out my vagina. Where were you?
For the single moms, right? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like for the single moms, those like single moms. Where were you? Yeah. Because it's only a woman's body that can hold that can hold a child. So
what men would suffer. They would
cry.
To give labor.
They would cry after the first trimester, and that's not even the worst. They would cry after a period.
What?
they would be crying.
You ever seen those videos of like they have like the cramp generator and
that's not enough. give them sickness,
right.
give them vomiting,
right,
give them the period doo-doos. You know what I mean?
And the PMS as well.
Yeah.
The PMS,
what?
the post PMS.
Yes.
Like give them everything that comes with it.
Yes.
In terms of like when it comes to conversations of as you said, like being assertive or being in a conflict with someone who is not a person of color.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself like, thinking before you speak or like not reacting in a certain way to be perceived as the angry black woman, or do you just not care and you're like angry is angry? Because me, I know I don't care. Angry is angry. If I'm angry, why am I not allowed to feel angry in the same way someone of a person of color is allowed to do it and not be ridiculed for it?
Because of that stigma.
That's what I'm saying.
Angry black woman stigma. For me personally, I'm very patient, but that's because I worked in the mental health field and I worked in the community corrections field. So I dealt with people coming home from prison who did like 15, 20 years. Some did 10 years. So a lot of them, unfortunately, are institutionalized and, they have issues of expressing themselves because, being in that environment, you have to conduct yourself in a certain way so that you can make it home. Yeah. So like literally I would have people come to me and cuss me out my name for a plate of food. They would come in from a social pass and they'd be like, "Oh, can I have dinner?" And I'd be like, "Weren't you outside? The rule is like unless you're coming from work or school, we can't give you stuff." Yeah. Like this man literally cussed me from head to toe, called me bees and everything, and I just sat there and said,
"I'll let you finish."
Okay. You have to be like that. It's really, it shows yourself a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
Like the amount of, it's because it is abusive.
Yes, it is.
It's amount that you take on, and you're like actually,
because
bounce it off you.
Yeah, because that one time you lash out. Look at Will Smith.
Yeah.
Went on stage and slapped that man. Look, now he done been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. They're stopping all these productions that he had in place and things of that nature. And all the enemy comes to do is steal, kill, and destroy. And if he can't literally kill you, he'll destroy the things that you have built up.
That's true.
To like the things that you have worked on to build, because he knows that's another way. So yeah, with me, go ahead, say what you gotta say, because vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I'm not like I'll be calm with it. I just be like, okay. But working in the mental health field, I also know that a lot of them deal with stuff like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So to a certain extent, like they can't control themselves. Like
especially
if they haven't gotten the help and the medication that they've needed and to be stabilized. Especially if they're coming to that facility to get the help, like they're not going to be like me, who's been praying and taking my meds regularly because I have a doctor to go to and stuff like that, and have been working on getting better. Because a lot of times, even like when you're coming home from prison, they give you like 60 days worth of medication, and then they're just like, "Oh, figure it out." And most of these people don't have family anymore. Their family either cut them off for whatever reason, or they died while they was incarcerated. And then you're telling them, "Oh, go figure out how to get a birth certificate, or go figure out how to get your social security card."
How would you want me to do that? Sorry?
Exactly. So that's why I went into the community corrections side of criminal justice, because every time people be like, "Oh, well, what's your degree in?" I'd be like, "Criminal justice." They'd be like, "You want to lock people up?" I was like, "No, I want to help the people who are coming home from being locked up." So I definitely feel like, I've always been a patient person regardless, because it's been a fault of mine too, because I'll tend to bottle my emotions. And then the littlest thing will set me off, and people will be looking at me like, "Why is she so mad?" And it won't even be for that reason. It'll be all the things that led up to that.
And then that was just like the tip of the iceberg.
So, with working in that kind of field, and then, just strengthening my walk with God and my prayer life has really, I'm very patient now. Like, I'll just be like,
I think now I selectively choose when to be the angry black woman, and I'm unapologetic for it, because as I said before, why should I have to dim down how angry I actually feel? Yes. Because I'm going to be perceived as the angry black woman. If that's the case, So be it.
Yeah.
At least I release whatever I need to release out of me, and then afterwards I will feel better. I can go home. I can sip my tea. I can light my incense, watch my little girlfriends on Netflix, and be easy.
Yeah.
But then, if I felt like I had to dim down my anger, that's gonna make me even more angry, because it's like, because I'm thinking, first of all, I was angry. And then I dimmed down how angry I was for this person who I'm probably never going to see again or interact with again. So it's just like,
that's what the enemy wants, so that everybody can be looking at you, causing a ruckus in the scene, and they just like, look at this here. Look at this angry black woman.
Like that's they don't even listen to you half the time. So they sometimes they're like, oh, this is the why.
Yeah,
this is because you look at how you're reacting.
Right.
Yeah. I try not to let people see me sweat.
Yeah,
it's hard though, but I also work in mental health I used to work as a support worker for adults, like schizophrenia, bipolar, alcohol abuse and stuff. And sometimes even in that field, not even them, but the people
who you work with. It don't even be the clients. It be the people that you be working with, and you be like, you was too grown. You was like 45, acting like you're still in high school, gossiping about people, wondering who's sleeping with who's doing this, who's doing that.
Mind the business that pays you. Exactly. Mind the business that pays you. Has everyone gone through the don't touch my hair phase, where they would be like, oh my God, how did your hair stand up like that? Can I touch it? Like I'm some petting zoo animal.
Yeah,
you went through
even
that
till this day. Sometimes
even at work the other day, I don't care if I've got 0.5 inches of an afro on my head. Yeah,
that's a 0.5 for me.
Do not touch the bald head. Don't touch it. If I've got waves in there and all hear like, oh my God, how did your hair do that? It does it how it does it. Yeah. You can look from afar. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm not an animal in the zoo that you've come, to come and see.
Like, just imagine if we went to their hair and be like, oh,
do you know what I mean? Their cheek. Yeah. It's like personal space, bro.
Right. And it's covered. It's not
especially when it's covered. They're like, oh yeah, but what's your hair look like underneath?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Why do you wear a bonnet? Why do you wear hair tie? It's like
to protect my hair.
Maybe because I've got hair that damages if it is let out to the atmosphere and the toxicities of English weather hair. But you do you, girl. I'm gonna protect this crown,
right? Because our crown is so sacred to us.
I want to flip it. So in a relationship dating scenario, listen, I'm about to get juicy here.
Let's get juicy with it then.
Okay. So you know how for straight people, sorry, I know I have to disclaim that as well. Sorry,
I can't relate
because I love me some black woman and all.
What's your preference?
Women.
Oh, okay. So I'm the only straight person there. So okay.
Shit.
So go ahead.
Alice. In a heterosexual scenario,
I don't know. Go ahead. Okay.
It's because I was talking like that.
Yes. And then you turned her. She's just like, okay, but no, go ahead. I'm listening.
All right. So I know I've had friends who are like because they're of a darker skin tone, they're perceived as more like ratchet by men or less attractive by men, based off of how they look, and then obviously the stereotypes attached to being that tone of black or whatnot. This colorist stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, have you personally gone through or felt like you've gone through that, like whilst dating or like getting to know people? Do you think that they've subliminally tried to enter that?
No, because humbly speaking, like people always tell me like, oh my gosh, your skin is so beautiful, like you should be a model and blah 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 and all these things, and I'm just like, I don't see what y'all see. What do y'all see? Because I be looking in the same mirror every day and they be like, your cheekbones and this and that, and I'm just like, oh no, thank you. But I've also been a very shy person, so 9 times out of 10 when I come into an environment, I'm in the corner just observing the room and feeling out people's vibes, and then people will flock to me because they'll be like, "Oh, why are you so quiet?" Things of that nature. So I haven't had to necessarily deal with that in that aspect, but people have always been like, I've always gotten the oh, when I first met you, I thought you were stuck up, or I thought you was a female dog, or because you just look so bougie. And then after they get to know me, they be like, "Yo, you're goofy as hell. You're chill as hell. The vibes is calm." And most times, I'm the only female in a group full of guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've always just gotten better along with guys, and it's not on no like sexual level. People think that guys and girls can't platonically be friends without it being nothing more than that, and it's always been that. And I guess because a lot of my cousins were male, so I grew up like
it was easier for you to.
So I was like a tomboy kind of
one of the boys.
Yeah,
the boys.
but of course I like to get cute and stuff like that. But I didn't have to really deal with that as far as the colorist aspect.
What about you, Dion, in terms of the LGBT world?
Well, like
do you feel like, because personally in my experience, I feel like if I'm going for like a femme, which is like a girly girl, they tend to like like the light skinned studs because they feel like in a photographic sense they'll look better. They feel like they'll get treated better. I don't know why. They think that they've got more money or something like that. But personally, that's what that's literally what I've experienced. And like sometimes it's just like sometimes it just makes you feel a bit like, oh right, like I'm not necessarily that, but it doesn't mean that I can't
still take you out to what's it called, Nobles?
Like take you out to Nobles, take you out to some sexy fish, like what I mean, a little STK. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like what I've seen as well is that they tend to flock more to those to the females that are of lighter tones or aesthetically pleasing in the sense of like what social media portrays of like like couples and that. But have you like experienced anything like that, or know anyone that's gone through something like similar to that?
Not really, no.
So you go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry. My bad.
No, I haven't really experienced that when it comes to dating. I mean, I personally don't have a type, and I go off energy anyway. So it's like I couldn't care less, well.
She said,
sorry, now she had to think about it.
Maybe I love black women.
Yeah.
So, but complexion stuff, energy.
Yeah.
From an energy standpoint, I feel like it's so shallow that people have those views.
Yeah.
Like, come on, step out of the bubble. Yeah. It's not all just surface shit. Yes. You have to know someone and be with someone who's on a different level.
Yes.
And
heart and soul, baby.
Yeah, all of that is gonna go very fast if you're just looking at image.
Yeah. I've always said the same thing. Like, I don't have a type, but you got to be taller than me because I'm 5'9", so I need somebody who's taller than me. But other than that, it's based off of like the vibe. I would say I don't think I would ever date a Caucasian man, only because I feel like they can't relate. Only because I said Caucasian. Only because I feel like they won't be able to relate to certain struggles that I've dealt with growing up, and even like in the workplace and things of that nature. But
cultural jokes and that.
Yeah, right. You'd be like, purr. They'd be like, huh?
They'd be like, sorry, what?
But you dealing with that, how did that make you feel?
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of made me feel like I had to like switch up my image a little bit as well. To like,
sorry.
Yeah, no, like I felt like I had to like just switch up my image, and like, cause I'm very like in between. I'm not overly feminine, I'm not overly masculine, I'm very balanced with it.
She throw that stuff on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. What do you want me to be? Right. what we on today? Do you know what I mean? And it just made me feel like, do I need to dress like, like these light skin stars? Do I need to get a better job that's got more money, to like impress these girls or something? Or do I flip it? Do I have to be the one that, do I have to be that typical black female that has you know, the weaves and the 26 inches and different kind of, you know, headpieces and different kind of braids. Like, do I need to grow back out my hair and like try and be that girl? Yeah. That for them to like notice me or like me or whatever. Yeah. And then at one point I was just like, do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? I was like, this is too much stress. Like, this is actually too much stress. There are different types of Black women, and all of them have their own respective, you know, aesthetic and beauty. Yeah. So if they can accept, you know, those typical types, why can't they accept those that are the non-typical types that like to, you know, switch it up, or like, you know, I might wear Dr. Martens and a turban. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, that's me. Like, but you know, more time they like the ones that will wear the designer head to toe, and
still very shallow. Though.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Like this in this time, it's just very like shallow image based, because you should just feel comfortable dressing. People should just be, and you can even dress as all of them. Switch it up, you know.
I think for me, it wasn't always the skin tone, but more so the body type, because I've always been the heavier female out of everybody. So like, you know, you insecure about that because you're like, oh, I want to be skinny like them, and I want to fit into these clothes.
I don't have the curvaceous body that they think all Black women have.
Right.
Like, my body ain't curvaceous.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like, it's there, but like, I don't have the perky breasts and, you know, and the back off that's mad, like, and the small waist. Like, not all Black women are built like that.
Yeah, not all of them.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think with social media, it has helped like the plus size women like feel more confident with themselves.
Exactly.
Especially me, because like now I'll be like, okay, so I'm look okay.
Look at that, open up.
It's not like that, but it's growing. And you know what they say, thick thighs save lives. Hello, so
that part. Listen, let me tell you something. Thick thighs, you know about thick thighs.
So yeah, I think for me it was more the body image that I struggled with a lot, and just being comfortable within the body frame that I had. But now it's I still get them. Okay, I still bag them. Girl. I still bag them. So that's whoever's attracted to you is going to be attracted to you, and I think that we need to just get out of our mind, because a lot of times we be going out and we'll think like, oh my gosh, this person might be judging me based off what I look, and the whole time this person probably in their own mind thinking about what they making for dinner.
Yeah, it's true. It's actually so true.
Or how their coworker,
it's actually so true.
Or how their coworker pissed them off and stuff like that. So it's just like, we have to stop being so worried about what people think of us, because the only person's opinion that truly matters is God's. And God said that we were formed in His image. You know, He said we are royalty, we are the head and not the tail. Like we are kingdom people. We belong to the kingdom. We are kings and queens.
He just added some sugar to Black women though. I'm not gonna lie.
He did.
He said, "I'm taking my time with you."
Well, I mean, but
I'm taking my time with you.
Yeah. But if you read the Bible like geographically, Jesus
should
was
be a
Black.
man.
No, not should be. He was. He was point blank. Period. Everybody in the Bible was of our skin tone, like
tan skin.
Yes, tan or darker.
Yeah, hair like wool.
Yes. Hello. It literally says that they were burnt black, like in the Bible. But people, society has whitewashed it. And they be like, oh, that's not my Jesus isn't black. My Jesus is white. No, Slavery. Sweetie. Go read your Bible.
No, don't worry. Take a trip to Jerusalem.
Hello.
Take that trip to Africa.
Yes.
Then tell me what you see. Yes. Then come back and tell me that your Jesus that goes in Jerusalem is white with straight hair.
Even the word Jesus is a whitewashed name. Yeshua, Yahweh.
Yeah, Yahweh.
But of course, the white man, they went and
took his African name
and took over, and slavery came, and ever since slavery, it's just been downhill. From there.
And on top of that, okay, go back to relationship. So now you've passed the relationship stage. You guys are in living together kind of stage now. Do you think there's a conception? Okay, in your case, by from a man, to be, you know, that nurturer of the house, to be that wife that cooks in the kitchen, that doesn't really have, you know, a job that earns more than him, kind of thing? Or do you feel like let's say you were dating a black man, that a black man would feel intimidated by you as a black woman because maybe you have, you know, your shit together more than he does?
So like, I mean, I actually just came out of a situation like that, but I was blessed to have a black man who was very chivalrous.
Yeah.
And the days that I didn't want to cook, he was cooking. Like, he was texting me before I got off work, what do you want for lunch today? Like, I would come home to home cooked meals. Like, he would pack my lunch for me. He would make me dinner. Like,
what?
He would take my clothes out for work, and, you know, he would run my bath for me in the morning and things of that nature. Like, yeah, we had a lot of problems, and that's just based off of him having to heal from past traumas that he hasn't healed from. But as far as chivalry, because he's the only man that I've lived with, like, relationship-wise, as far as being chivalrous, he's the most chivalrous man I've ever met.
In your experience, like, do you feel like if you're with like a stud or someone who's more dominant than you, would you feel like that pressure to be like not submissive but submissive in a sense that, you know, they ask you, can you do this, can you do that, like, you know, like normal woman stuff, that you'd submit to that?
To do, I feel like I do it anyway. I feel like I'm just quite nurturing. Yeah, and I'm always like, let me just take off this. If there's something I can help with, I'll help with it.
Yeah.
It's not all on you. Like, I'm very helpful, but yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just naturally. It's not like, because it'll be regardless, whoever femme, stud, STEM.
Yeah. Because I feel like if you like somebody, like, you're just gonna naturally be submissive, like, and when
you feel safe as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're gonna want to do all those things for them. Yeah, that's very true. When you feel safe with the person,
yeah, man. Obviously, all of us come from, you know, black mothers. Women.
Yes.
What's like one thing that you would say that your mum instilled in you, you know, specifically because you're a black woman? Did she give you a talk? Did she ever give you certain advice on how to navigate life, navigate jobs, navigate relationships? Like, was there one specific, you know, piece of advice that you would take with you that your mother has given you? Or
I feel like in general, my mum was a very strong woman. My mum passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
she was a very strong woman.
Yeah,
and I feel like she just taught me to, like, through all like the trials and tribulations of life, just to persevere, keep your head like focused, and just always like be independent, like have your own, and just live your life to the best, literally. But that's just could be for anyone. But definitely work hard and be independent, have your own things, you know.
That's beautiful, man.
You can rely on like your close ones for things, but make sure you have your own, especially
100%.
You're not fall into any
100%.
Right, because you could be with a person for 25 years and they wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm leaving you.
Exactly.
Like,
no, it's true.
What's the Tyler Perry movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman? Like, that will not be me. No. But I think for me, the thing that my mom like instilled a lot was the power of education. And, you know, like, if you go to college, you like, and I'm not saying like college is not for everybody, don't get me wrong, but you can still gain knowledge and wisdom through like reading books or going through a trade school, because like knowledge is power. So, and that's one thing that nobody can ever take away from you is if you're book smart and street smart.
Double whammy, man.
Yes, exactly.
Double homicide.
I'm sorry, that made me think. We're not gonna talk about that. Ooh, that you know what? You remember where we got that from? The Jocelyn. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that snippet. But yeah, she said sorry. No, but for me, I think the power of education, because going to college, it did allow me to step into doors that, you know, I probably could have with the work ethic that I have, because I'm very ambitious, but at the same time, you know, education, it does open certain doors sometimes that not having like a degree will do for you.
Yeah.
But you know, knowledge is power. I'm always learning, like always literally, on my laptop.
You're actually always on the laptop, always in the clubhouse room.
Oh, yeah, always in the clubhouse room. Exactly. I'm always trying to gain wisdom from people who've done it already before me, because I think that's the other problem. Like, our generation feels like we know it all.
Yeah,
I don't know it all. So if you can give me tools and strategies to help me get further along in the walk that I'm trying to get without having to go through the same struggles that you went through, by all means, open your mouth. I'm ready to hear and listen.
Exactly. 100%, man.
So what would you say your mom's?
I think obviously mine's a bit different because I was more of a carer for my mum, so it wasn't not that she never had those conversations with me, but that wasn't really like a main focus, if that makes sense. But just from watching her,
so like, Kara, she has like a disability. So
she got disability. But from watching her, you know, I think what I could take from her actions alone is that, you know, no matter what, you know, life throws at you, you know, you just gotta make the positive out of it. And, you know, and obviously don't use race as the first thing, you know, as something, if something goes wrong, you know, or if in a workplace or whatever the case may be. However, you know, don't also be oblivious to it. Don't be oblivious to it either. So don't use it, but don't be oblivious to it. So know how to like maneuver or navigate yourself, because she did a law degree. She was going to be a lawyer, and you know, black female lawyers. There's not many in the UK anyway. I think in the US it's like a 5%. Yeah, it's like probably less than 5%. So for her, you know, going into that field, that was going to really be a struggle for her. But she, as you said, she's going to win with the mentality, you know, I deserve this. I've worked for this, so I'm going to go in it. However, I'm not going to be oblivious to the fact that this is not a field that a lot of white people would want to see me in. Do you know what I mean? So I gotta make it known. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Well, I think, you know, we've had a good conversation. I think we've touched, you know, a couple of areas, you know, that you know, can highlight, you know, certain experiences that we've experienced as black women. And as you can see, like, I think conclusively, like, it's not all bad, you know. Some black women might have experienced, you know, undertone racism or colorism or whatnot, and other us may not have. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, don't be oblivious to that. You know, it still lays there. You know. It is. So to close off, like, what would you say to, you know, a young black woman who's trying to make it in their life? What's one word of advice that you would give to them?
Words. Many words are coming.
No, not one word, but like one like phrase or sentence.
A piece of advice.
A piece of advice. Sorry, not one word. Let me rephrase my A-star English. Let me rephrase.
You sure you was A-star,
girl?
Say that.
I would just say, always follow your passions and just stay true to yourself. Honestly, with all people opening their mouth and their opinions, just do what you feel comfortable doing, and also step out your comfort zone and take the risk, because you never know where you might get. And just love yourself. Ultimately, love yourself whole.
I feel like that's pretty much what I was gonna say too. Like, just be authentically you, and even when people have things to say about the decisions that you're making, still do what's true to your heart and what, you know, God has revealed to you that He wants you to do. Because you know, like my story, since I've been out here, like, it's been like an up and down roller coaster. I was supposed to be here in the UK for 2 weeks. I've been here for 2 months. But some of the decisions that I made since I've been out here, like, my family has questioned it and been like, well, why are you doing this? I was like, because God told me to. And the same people who call themselves believers don't truly believe when I say that God's the one who told me to. So for anyone who you've had that conversation with God, or whoever you're spiritually tapped into, you know, for the females who are Muslim and, you know, you believe in Allah, or if you're Buddhist or things of that nature, whatever conversation you had with your higher power, go with that. Don't let nobody derail you from it, because at the end of the day, when the dust settles, when everybody's done saying what they have to say, you gonna be sitting on top and you gonna prevail. And the same people that was talking about you gonna be coming to you with their hand out. Hello, the Bible says that God will prepare a table in the presence of your enemies. But when you get that table, still be humble and still help them, because it says more about you as a person than it says about them.
It does. I like that.
Me.
Ooh, here we go. Let's hear this one.
Oh God. Do you know what?
Naomi's very enlightening.
I am enlightening. Coming from, my experience over the years, I would say, yes, you do have to work twice as harder. However, don't feel like, that's your life. Do you know what I mean? Don't feel like, okay, I'm always going to have to be working twice as harder as, my non-person of colour counterpart or female counterpart. That you can be your own boss. Like, you really don't have to be working underneath people, and you don't have to continue to feel like that. Like, you do possess abilities that can get you to where you need to get to without the help of as they say, the white man.
Your character can open
and
doors
also
for you,
every type of black is beautiful, man. Don't feel like you have to be the typical black girl that has, the long 24-inch hair that sweeps on the car with the big body and the big breasts. If you do and you want a person, that's absolutely fine. But also don't feel pressured to fall into that stereotype. Like, you can be however you want to be, man. If you want to be a goth, if you want to be Afrocentric, if you want to be alternative, if you want to be 90s, 80s, 70s, do your thing, man. Like, the world is your oyster. So
Amen.
That's how you gotta go with it. So on that note, we are going to conclude. Yes.
You want to give your Instagrams where people can
give out your socials, let them follow you.
Let them know what you're up to.
Okay, so my socials on Instagram is Dior Ash. My Spotify, same Dior Ash. And right now I'm working on my EP.
Okay.
But I've released a new single, Pink Skies.
Pink Skies.
Stream that.
Okay. So how do you spell Ash for the people?
So DIORASHE.
Okay.
That's how you spell it.
Okay.
Just stay tuned.
Yes.
Great things to come. More music on the way.
I can't wait for it. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Cornerstone K. I am the social media manager for Just Unplugg. I also am the CEO of Goliath Must Fall Apparel. We will be dropping stuff very soon. We are not the David in our story. Jesus is. And when we have him by our side, we can defeat any giant that comes our way, So that's my little 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, where you can find me. Versatile _ Sorry. I don't know why I do this. Okay, sorry. Be serious. You can find me. Versatile _LES. That's VERSATILE _LES. That's on my TikTok. That's my Snapchat. That's my Instagram. And obviously follow the Just Unplugg podcast on Instagram. Just Unplugg with 2 G's. On YouTube as well. TikTok, Twitter, all the social medias. Go follow that. Like, subscribe, comment, tell us your thoughts.
Yes.
In the comments, we'll always reply back.
Yes.
And be black and beautiful, man.
Amen.
Yes.